doctors, like, saving lives is good, but I think as an American, I'm so jaded toward anything healthcare related. I feel like, and after watching Monster,
Oh, great anime.
which even further like instilled this thing in me, where it's like I'm not saying if you're a doctor you're a bad person. If you want to be a doctor, that's fine, and you should be.
Yes.
But I feel like there are lots of people in the healthcare industry that are like, here I go, and I'm going to use this broken and exploitative industry for my own personal gain. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel. I feel like it's not an issue.
Shit.
Like, it's not like, oh man, fuck doctors and nurses. They're terrible. But it's like you're willingly contributing to something that's so evil.
Yeah.
That's like our insurance and our healthcare industry. Ben,
Mm,
is that? Do we have a problem?
it's a little cynical.
Oh, it's extremely cynical.
Yeah.
It is absolutely cynical,
I
and
don't
it's
think
just
most
like
of them do it thinking, haha.
thinking, here I go, time to
I want to go help people.
time to use this thing, and I'm
And
sure a
make
lot
some
of
money
people get
doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do want to help people. It's such a like, I don't think it's a hot take to say the American healthcare system is totally fucked. Like that's not a hot take, and
No.
like I don't know. It's just like I'm not trying to say like fuck doctors, but it's like I
forgot to play.
am that cynical to the point where it's like I don't really give all doctors the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to get to know them, and like most doctors like I've been with, I feel like once you get to know someone who is a doctor or a nurse, you're like, okay, you seem legit to me.
And that reason is why I'm willing to give most people benefit of the doubt.
And you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I am like I'm just like, no, I'm hyper cynical. Like,
Yeah.
this is like, have you thought this through? Have you seen what you're contributing to? That type of thing.
If you
So-
can say that about most industries,
Yeah, for sure.
which is why I don't say that about them.
Yeah, it is. It's a cynicism is a dark hole, and I don't want anyone else to go into it like I have, which is a little bit weird because like during COVID, Ben, would you say people like our age are like crazy cynical?
Yes, it's
Our generation's always
And
been
I'm-
super cynical.
And the thing is,
It's not just
is
COVID.
the thing is I've always been that cynical. I've always been that cynical, and
Nice.
now other people are like, you know, they're like coming up into my turf, you know.
yeah.
Like, come on, man, I was a cynical guy.
That sounds about right.
And now I'm trying to pull a little bit back, but yeah, it's hard to it's hard to break because sometimes you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes you're cynical about something, and it's like you're kind of right. Sometimes your cynicism like pays off,
Sometimes.
and you're like, I was right to be cynical about this. But I don't know. It's a tough thing to balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, absolutely, and because I think hyper cynicism is just as bad as being like hyper naive and optimistic and thinking just everything will work out anyway, and you're not really going to take matters into your own hands. You're sort of like, well, I'll leave it up into the world, and things are going to work out no matter what. Because sometimes you do have to like think about things and try use your own grit to like fix certain things or to like do that, and that's like what cynicism can enable you to do, but it's you know, it's a balancing act. There's not.
Yeah.
But if you're too cynical, and you're like me, and then you're like, well, what's the point? What's the point of doing anything? Really?
But then, like, if you go too far into that, it's like, oh, what's the point of even living?
yeah,
Yep.
And that's
Yeah.
also a fucking mess.
and that's not good. So it can be a mess on either side, and what I would say is like everyone is gonna lean one way or the other, and you try to like fight against it, you know.
Yeah.
So because I'm just naturally so cynical, I try my best, and I often fail, just to be like more positive about things,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And systems like healthcare and government and school and stuff like that, and religion, it's like I can be like naturally cynical, and it's like, and but like when it comes to like other people and relationships, I'm not as cynical, you know, like when it comes to like personal friendships and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's so I definitely try to not be a cynical asshole all the time.
Don't be a pyro-cynical.
I'm not trying to be a cynical asshole all the time, but sometimes I'm just like, man, here I go. It's just going full cynic. So I wouldn't know what the opposite of that is. I haven't met a lot of people, because like most of us, Ben, you're probably like one of the more optimistic people I know.
Probably.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I think.
I mean, it's probably safe to say that I'm one of the few people, you know, that thinks that the government does work as an institution.
I mean,
that there is a basis in our healthcare system that can be worked on.
Yes, but like,
No, I'm an optimistic person. I'll admit it. I mean, I'm not like one of those people who is like super Pollyanna, but I am generally an optimist.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a good portion of 2020 trying to tell people, okay, A, it's not over. The election hasn't even happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
B, things are going to be okay. There's no reason to think Trump's going to win a second term.
Yeah.
And C, if he does, we're going to win back the Senate, probably a huge majority in 2022 anyway. There's not that much damage he can do if he has no power outside of just the presidency. So I spent the whole year pretty much telling people that, and then nobody fucking believed me. And then I was right,
and Ben,
frankly.
you were right, because we absolutely had a conversation probably last summer where I'm like, Trump's absolutely going to win a second term.
Yeah.
And we're fucked.
I was like, no,
and you're not. And you're like, well,
it's not happening.
And then he did. And
now,
it's like,
I think I probably... Now, I need to go back and check these texts, but I probably said, like, there's a chance, but it's not as high as it was before. I probably said something along those
because
lines.
where that cynicalness came from for me is 2016, where people were just like, I don't need to vote. In Michigan, I don't like Trump's gonna lose. Who would vote for this guy? There's no way he could win. And then he won.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, now I have basis for my cynicism when it comes to voters, and it's just like, there are a significant amount of people who Trump is their guy.
You can just buy it all, Dylan, if you want.
Yeah, take it all, boy.
Now, I will say, though, that after watching the actual votes start to come in, I was disappointed, because your reality was closer to the truth than I wanted to believe.
Yeah.
Now, my reality was still ultimately... I say like a reality. It's like my theory of the case, not reality.
Like, don't bet. Like,
it was like 80%. It was like 70% my truth, or like my belief, and like 30% Raffi's.
Like, don't.
Like, it was far closer than the polls showed. The polls were off, but Biden's lead and the polls were so big that the polls could be off more than they were in 2016, and then he still won a fairly comfortable win. It was a close win, but it was one where, you know, he could have lost, I think, 3 of the states he won and still won.
Like, there was a crazy
Maybe
amount
just
of,
2.
There was a crazy amount of work done.
And then that was like Democrats and independents and moderate Republicans throwing everything they had. And they just beat Trump by like about 100,000
I mean,
votes.
there's like people in like
Biden got a huge popular vote win. He won popular vote by 7 million votes, and he's still squeaked. It's just this
squeak 5
system is fucked.
And it's just like,
but I do believe that we can fix it.
Those cities, like, so much work went into getting people who have never voted before to vote.
Yeah,
like,
and we had ridiculous turnout.
There's
ridiculous turnout. It was amazing. It was wonderful.
And the thing is, I was and I was underestimating how much people were willing to do that, because there are probably people like Ben who believe something can be done, and not people like Raphael who are just like, well, fuck it, we're all fucked. It's like, it's over anyway. So it's like, it absolutely...
He was getting both of those groups to vote.
Yeah.
My group, we're gonna fucking vote.
You got to get the cynical people.
Like, I would have voted for pretty much any Democrat against Trump.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You just don't have to at a certain point. Boom.
Dionysus also looks cool. They all look cool. What the fuck? Why do they all look so cool, Red? I mean, that's why people like this game, right?
This game is very cool.
Because everybody looks cool.
Yes. Very cool game.
Hangover.
How long is this episode?
It's
did
longer
you cut
than
it
this.
somewhere?
Because I'm going to end up cutting it probably
Cut it
right
in
when you
half.
started talking about doctors.
After party, maybe.
Raphael said what?
Look, here's the thing, right? I didn't actually set like real timers for any of these videos,
Yeah.
so these are just gonna be 3 very weird length.
It's gonna be
videos.
called Raphael the
Like
Cynical.
the first one's gonna be like 13 minutes. The second one, maybe even like 10 minutes even. Second one's gonna be like 30 minutes. Third one's gonna be like fucking 40 minutes or some
Oof.
shit. It's gonna be a mess.
The 80s is trying to kill me.
Uh-oh. Alright, survived for 45 seconds. Episode titled,
Yeah.
Raphael hates all doctors, and that's absolutely what he said, and then a picture of Ben, like, open mouth, like, what? And then an arrow pointing at you.
I'll just do the click, please.
What is it? What? Hates all doctors?
God damn.
No, I don't. I don't hate doctors.
So,
But what if they're a professor? Do you hate all professors?
No, that's what I said. I just, when I talked about how I had dickbag, I had dickbag like professors in college, but I
Yeah.
also had a bunch of great ones. It was like a coin toss.
Just like teachers in high school. You have a bunch of great teachers, crappy teachers. But the difference is you don't have to pay for high school if you're in public schools.
True.
wait, how are you at 100 HP now?
So if you have a shitty professor,
Then
you
you
have to
got-
waste
you got
thousands of
some
dollars
sort
for a
of-
shitty
Alright,
I've
professor.
just been talking to Raffi. I have not been watching the game. I mean, all
Dylan's
I
been
know is
killing
like,
it. He's been
oh
killing
yeah,
it.
Dylan's been killing it.
Get that. Boom, you healed. Nice, dude. You shot?
Let's see.
Don't pay 41 HP for 67 coin. That
Yeah.
sounds like not a good idea.
The next boon you find. I
Has
remember what
upgraded
boons
rarity. Next power,
Oh,
where like
power.
the side end is like, I'll give you a choice of 3. That's what it
Okay.
is.
Alright.
So you're gonna get better ones at the next guy.
Is this money?
It might be. I don't know what that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, just go to it.
This is the furthest I've come. Yeah, it is by a lot actually.
Have to be very, very quiet.
Ah, shit! You spent all your money, dude. I guess that's the icon for shop.
Sure.
See you, Charon, mate. Just minding my own business.
Wait, bro, you got surveilled.
Yeah, looks like I have to go this way now.
Hey, what's that thing?
Doesn't matter.
Hey, what's that thing? Shit, can't go back.
She fucking loves The Wire.
Oh, fuck.
Have you seen All the Wire? I've only seen season 1.
I need to
Tell me
see
you-
it, 'cause I've heard it's really
4
good.
seasons.
Who is calling me?
Is your doctor?
Oh, unknown name. I heard what
It's
you
a
said. We're done. I heard what you said.
This is the
Fuck you,
this
Raffi.
is the
Take me off
American
your
Medical
insurance.
Association. We are all done with you.
No,
You've been blacklisted from all doctors in the United States.
he's practically a doctor. If you don't become a doctor, you're banished from our family.
My parents are definitely not that way because
I know.
my dad is literally a comedian. So it's very Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like my parents they couldn't have been that surprised when I'm like, I want to be creative and write books and make stuff.
Right.
Because like I spent so much time as a little kid like watching movies and reading books with my parents.
That looks more cool.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't just show me. And I started like piano lessons at 5 years old.
Nice.
Nice.
And did that for a few years before I started playing string instruments. It's like you can't just introduce a kid to how cool creative shit is, and then just be like, yeah, go do science crap. It's like,
Yeah.
You could be creative with science and engineering. You have to be creative with engineering.
a little bit.
That's what
It's a
engineering
different
is.
kind
You
of
have to
creative,
design
though.
stuff.
But I'm such a fartsy dude. I'm gonna be like, this car engine represents.
Yeah, I think my future was pretty
World War
much
II.
drawn out, or like pretty like much on display.
Oh yeah, you always liked
From the second I was
History
like
and
drawing
geography.
like fairly accurate world maps in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing though, what can I fucking do with it? So that's the problem. There are things, but they're not a whole lot. You know, like how many how many people really need somebody who can just name all the members of Congress, right? I mean, how many? It's not a very big field.
And
You are
politics,
killing it, Dylan.
politics, is
69!
like, politics and like political commentary is definitely like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Right.
some sort of-
But it's a small field.
It is, but it seems so toxic.
Oh, it's super toxic.
I would not want to
No, I
like.
constantly have to take breaks. And I don't even like debate things on Twitter. Twitter's a fucking cancer. I
Twitter
try
is...
to avoid it
Good
as
thing
much
I've
as
never
possible.
had a Twitter. I'm
Good.
so
Never get
happy.
it. It's cancer.
Although Facebook's almost there. It's
Alright.
cancer. Let's see.
Alright, honestly, Raffi,
Yeah.
I
What
think
up?
you're just like now playing a second time.
Yeah, because Dylan did a crazy good run.
Yeah.
You just
I'll
finished
just
this
gain
run
some
and then.
speed.
We're like
I'll just
literally
get
like
everything.
50 minutes in this
Yeah, that's
recording
totally
session.
Yeah, that's just like a lot.
Yeah. Alright.
But one thing I'm not cynical about.
Holy shit, Dylan. You're full fucking health. God damn it.
I
He's
want-
just gonna beat the fucking game.
The thing is, I like I'm cynical about like real shit, and I'm like super optimistic about like art and
Oh,
like
for sure.
anime and like
For sure.
music, and it's just like
Oh, music's so good,
just
dude.
like just like cool shit all the time.
I'm optimistic about both.
And that's why it's like a little bit like people make fun of weebs for like fetishizing Japanese society.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, the reason is like often it's like teenagers that end up being like, wow, Japan seems like the coolest place ever, and you don't realize like how many issues.
Then
like,
you look
there's-
at the suicide rate,
and there's like
oh.
yeah, there's you
The
mentioned the
work
first
and
actual
college-
The work is so bad.
The work in college cultures.
It's
Yeah.
just super toxic and it's sexist and it's
Oh yeah, very.
it's got they got tons of issues, and the issue with like American weebs, you're seeing the art
Yeah,
of Japan,
not the
and
actual
art
side.
is always badass. That's why in Japan they probably look at America and they see the art from America and they're
Yeah.
like, wow, this seems
Every
so cool.
country,
Like,
pretty much.
like
Yeah.
you can look at any country and you're looking
Boss
at like
fight.
you know Korean books and Middle Eastern music and you're like, wow, this is so cool. Like this place seems awesome, but you're just looking at the art. And you know what? Art from the beginning of time to the end of time will always be badass. Okay,
Yep.
so you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You can't base your whole like you know your whole like worldview on just like art.
That's true.
So like.
Impervious.
There you go.
Impervious.
So just because there's statues of Monkey D. Luffy everywhere in Japan, alright. Just like
And their,
And Brooke.
and their prime minister is a Pokemon master.
is he?
Oh.
I think a lot of people have problems with Japan's prime minister right now.
Oh, their old one.
Their new one? They got
Abe.
the brand new guy.
Yeah, because Abe retired after fucking like 15 years. of
And he's the one they made Persona 5 about.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
Abe.
Yeah. So like So there's like this prime minister is so bad we're gonna make the best video game of all time despite him. Which is why art is
And he probably has no idea.
and he doesn't care. No.
No, he doesn't fucking care. There's no way he cares.
Oh fuck.
Japan's politics are fucking crazy. Like, the same party's been in control, I want to say,
Yeah.
like, for almost every single year since the country
And it's
began
pretty
in its
right-
modern
Is
form.
it pretty right wing?
It's the Conservative Party.
Yeah, it's like really
Which is
right.
also, like, funny for, like, Americans, right?
Ooh.
Because it's called the Democratic Party.
Yeah, because it's like they're just words. You're
Yeah.
like looking for like right.
Oh, I actually won. Never mind.
Oh,
thought it
yeah,
died.
didn't it like brought you back to life for like most of your money or something? I don't know if
Maybe.
you got a power like that.
Alright, cool.
Cool, we beat the first boss, dude.
Oh
I mean,
Now here's
Dylan
the
just
thing:
keep going.
you can. So now he's in World
Alright.
2, but you have to re-clear World 1 and kill her again. But it gets like easier every time.